my name is Lizzie. Each week I bring along a different origami fold to inspire you to take some time out for yourself. It's really important to make sure that we look after ourselves in order to look after others as well. It helps our resilience. How we feel is so important. So I hope this could be a way that you'll find yourself lost and absorbed in folding to make something really beautiful. This piece I found mesmerising. It's a traditional fold, so it is from Japan. It's called a persimmon, which is a little orange fruit, and but for me it reminds me of beautiful kind of Chinese lanterns or Cape Gooseberries. It feels, and at one point it sort of grows like the little fruit, so it's a little bit like it feels really quite magical. It's autumn at the moment, so I thought this would be a perfect thing for you to make. You could use orange paper if you wished, or maybe colour some, or you can do it white and enjoy the form as well. It's very organic and it's a little bit tricky in its own way, which makes it rather magical. I learnt it from this beautiful book, which actually was very kindly given to me from the British Origami Society, and it's called Secrets of Origami, and it's by Robert Hardman, who is a magician, who was the first president of the British Origami Society. And I just find it a really beautiful book, and mostly I find diagrams a little bit hard, but I really love this. So this is what we're going to make. Isn't that beautiful? So grab yourself some paper, and I will get showing you how to make one of your own. I hope you'll find it this amazing little moment where it all opens up. Requires concentration, which is what makes it wonderful. Grab something to press on. Grab a piece of paper here, and here we go. So I'm going to make the classic size, which is half an A4 paper. So I'm going to take my A4 paper and fold it in half, like so, lining up the corners. Go nice and slowly, and you can just get everything nice and lined up. I always think if you start well, it continues well. Start badly, it will get worse. So it's worth that attention to detail, good strong folds, and you'll feel a real sense of achievement as it all works. Beautiful, just paper and your own concentration. Tiny little nick here. Put your hand nice and close to the edge. All we're doing is making a square. If you've joined me before, you'll know that we've done this many times. There we go. So I'm going to take a corner, line it up down at the bottom. And there's also the repetition, which is very relaxing. But at the same time with origami, you master one thing, and I find myself just wanting to try something new. So it's that mixture of things that are familiar and allowing yourself to grow and try new things too. Going to remove this rectangle, turning it over, grabbing that loose bit, bringing it back, squashing it down. Good strong fold for this because we want to rip that off. Looks like a Robin Hood hat. I think the fun of origami is also that you start looking at, oh, it looks a bit like this, which is what art generally does, really. So we have a square with a diagonal, and we're going to do the other diagonal. So that's your next step. And they often start off in the same way, pieces of origami. They have these same starts, and then it can go off in all sorts of different directions. So turning it over, looks like a tent. It's important you turn it over because it's all about the directions of the folds. And I'm going to do a horizontal and a vertical. That's it. So we're going to take your time, line it up, and by going slowly, it's also a lot more relaxing. I use this as a form of relaxation, and I find that slow definitely makes it a lot more enjoyable. There we go. It's not a race. So we've got a lovely piece of paper here. All you need to do is, it's sort of curving up already, is push all of the bits together. That's already a magical, beautiful thing, isn't it? There we go, and squash it down like so. So this starts off actually a lot like the traditional lily. You will see. So we consider this, if you make sure that your loose leaves are at the top, think of this as a little leaves of a book. So I've squashed it down, but I want you to take one of the leaves of a book, and you can pop your finger in and squash it down. Now keep this all lined up, and you might want to also line up the top too so that that stays together. And you can see I'm lining this up all the way down to the bottom. Make sure there's no wrinkles at the bottom. That's it, which is why I encourage you to put your finger in. And I'll turn to the back. And again, pick up the leaf. And you'll probably, hopefully be doing it so it's balanced. I would recommend that. Again, if you put your finger in there, and that's just to get rid of any creases. Keep things lined up, all lined up together, because one thing will affect everything else. So it's about that attention to detail, but it also makes it relaxing too. There we go. Right, so you can turn the pages over again till you get to another one. Same thing again. So you're doing the same thing on all 4 sides. Okay, I was thinking of it as a little dance for your fingers, this little choreography that you're doing. And these little moves get easier with time, which is just about repetition. We learn things by, the more you do them, the more your brain is able to just easily do it. That's right. Right, turning again for your Lizzie page. And I guess I'm balancing it at the back so it all hangs together. Again, I've got a little pocket there. Same thing again. We're almost there. That's it. Okay, so what you've got now is a kind of stacked up, it looks like a bit like a kite, doesn't it? So I want you, at the moment you can see this line, I want you to turn a page, again it looks like a little page of a book, until it's smooth. And if we turn to the back, I want you to do the same thing, turn the page so it's smooth, and make sure it's balanced. So you can see it's balanced there, otherwise it feels under tension. Okay. So our next step, which is where it's different from the lily, is to take the bottom and bring it up to the top. It's lots of layers, but we're just doing a nice little crease line, that's all. So I took the bottom and I brought it all the way up to the top. Like so. There we go. I'm folding it down there. Okay. So opening up again. And this will become the centre of the sort of fruit later on, and this will be the petals. So I'm going to take one side, this loose layer, and bring it down. Now you've got this interesting structures appearing here. What I want you to do is to work on them gently and squashing it down in the middle. Can you see it'll make a nice little triangle? Maybe I'll do this on a solid surface so you can see too. So it was all the way up here and I brought this down, and what I need you to do is to squash these down and make sure it's all keeping in the middle. So it's a perfect little triangle there, and the same thing on the other side, like so, and squashing those down. So it should look like that. That's it. So next step is to turn to the back and the same thing again. So we've got this top layer, bringing this all the way down, down to the bottom. I think I need a bit more coffee. There we go. And again, the same thing, squashing this down. So make sure this is all lined up. That's it. Definitely need more coffee. So always about looking after yourself. That way you can also focus best too. There we go. Okay, and if anything's a little bit out, you can reposition it. There we go. So with our piece at the moment, we've got these sort of leggy bits. If you turn it the other way up, so leggy bits are at the bottom. We want everything to be upwards. So next I'm going to turn a page, and it's smooth there. All I want you to do is to bring it up. Again, there's lots of layers there. So it's that sticky down bit. Bring it up. And again, squashing it down. So it should be looking like this. And then again, like leaves of a book, turning a Lizzie book until we get to that last page there. Again, taking this and folding it up so that this touches up there, and again squashing it down. So what you've got is everything pointing upwards. I would recommend just flicking through your book a little bit. There's lots of layers, aren't there? That's it. Okay, so now I want you to actually, you can see it's got this symmetry of 4. That's good. That's the bottom of it, and that's the top of it. This area is going to, in a moment, start to open up as a fruit. It's a little bit tough to open up, so go slowly, go carefully. No, you will get there. It won't instantly work, but that's to be expected. That's it. Right, we've just got one more step to do, which is to squash it down again like this, and we're going to take this side and fold it up here. So we're going to take this edge and fold it like so. So it'll end up looking like a square actually. So I took that bottom edge and brought it up vertically. Same here, bottom edge and bringing it up vertically. Like so. Squashing it down, turning it to the back, and it's just that same thing again. That bottom edge, bringing it up there. That's it. There we go, we're almost there. Again, this edge, it doesn't look terribly neat, it's fine. Bring it up there, like so. Squashing it down. Great. And again, it's got this symmetry of 4, so I recommend you open the pages, make sure everything stays folded up. That's it. All right. So hopefully it's looking like this. This is the bottom of it. This is the top of it. Now to open it up, it's definitely a bit of a knack. It's a bit of a thing to do. The important thing is to hold on to all of these layers, and we're going to pull out sideways, I guess that sort of action. And I'm going to start on the 2 diagonals, so just holding the 2 diagonals there. And I'm going to slowly start to pull out, and then I'm going to turn around to the next 2 opposite sides and do the same thing. So each time, make sure you keep hold of this. You don't want it to unravel or it won't work. Right, let's see. I'm beginning to pull out. Can you see it's opening up? And I guess I'm holding out here at the edge. And again, I'm holding there and I'm pulling out. That's it. As I said, it's a bit like magic, and it's a little bit of like, oh, uncertain. It always looks a little bit dangerous at the end, like it could tear, but just go slowly. Again, this little fruit, it's like a little pumpkin that's growing. This time of year, all the fruits that from all that sunshine over the summer, we get to enjoy the fruits that have emerged. That's it. So keep going. I find this all a little bit tricky too, but it's also part of the magic of it. It's quite hard to do. Each time I'm pulling that way outwards. Obviously being careful so it doesn't rip. I think it will be okay. Haven't yet had one rip, but if it's going to happen, it'll happen on film, won't it? Wow, the end is very interesting as the paper sort of distorts. Hopefully a little roundish fruit is opening up. You can sort of fold back the petals a little bit too, and just, as I said, it's very kind of organic, and I think that's part of the beauty of it. So hopefully you have ended up with a little fruit of sorts, which could make a really nice little decoration. There we go. So I hope that's worked for you. As I said, it's quite nice in sort of orange. I guess, yeah, the thicker paper seems to have worked maybe best. It's a really interesting structure, and I hope you'll have fun with that. It's definitely one to master, like a little fruit or a little flower. I hope you've enjoyed that. Thank you.